Did you see that malfunction too? Or is that just me?
That was the move that made LeBron cry.
So, because March Madness starts tomorrow, and my coworker said I should share this with you, I'm sharing this with you. So, strap in to may the best mascot win my March Madness bracket. First, we have Auburn versus teams I don't really care about because they weren't seeded when I made this presentation. So Auburn's going to win by default, but it's okay because the mascot's kind of cute. Kind of looks like Tony the Tiger, and I love Tony the Tiger. Next, we have Louisville versus Creighton. And Louisville, on the website I was on, didn't have any pictures of the mascot, so I didn't bother to look up a picture of their mascot. But Creighton's, so he wins by default, but I like him. I think he's different, and I like the way he's holding that basketball. So he's our winner. Next, we have Michigan versus UC San Diego. So I'm biased as hell. I am from Michigan, so I'm a Michigan girl. It really doesn't help, though, that we don't have an actual physical mascot. But I am giving us credit because back in the day, we used to apparently bring a live Wolverine to the games. And I think we should bring that back. For UC San Diego, no fucking way Ariel's dad is their mascot. He scares me. So... Next, we have Texas A&M versus Yale. I kind of love that this is a real dog. 10 out of 10 for that. But it's also the dog that is that guy who dressed up as a dog. You know what I mean? Like the guy who was pretending to be a dog, so we got that really humanoid, or really specific dog costume. Really realistic dog costume, and I'm pretty sure it was this dog, so I'm not really fond of that. I'll put a picture here. I hate him. Anyway, so cool that it's a real dog. Holy shit, we got another dog. So I love him. His name is Handsome Dan, and I like that he is a mascot to go with the real life dog. Yeah. And I also really love that he's not a human pretending to be a dog. So, Handsome Dan's going to take that one. Next, we have Ole Miss versus more teams that I really don't care about. So, obviously, Ole Miss is going to win by default. I'm not really sure what's going on here because we kind of have the old mascot and what I think Google's telling me is the new mascot. So, I kind of like that it's a shark, getting a little crazy with ideas here. But I'm not really sure how to feel about the way he's looking at me. Next, we have Iowa State versus Lipscomb. He's scary looking, but I do like his pose. He's kind of like giggling and kicking his feet. I like that. Lipscomb, intimidating as hell. I'm intimidated. But he also reminds me of a professor I had who we think stole money from a club that I was in. So I'm going to have to give it to giggling and kicking my feet, Iowa State. Next, I have Marquette versus New Mexico. I hate him. And this guy, I think I hate him less. He kind of reminds me of Johnny Rose from Schitt's Creek. So I'm going to give it to I'm going to give it to Johnny. Next, we have Michigan State versus Bryant. All my homies hate State. As a U of M girly, all my homies hate State. I once went to a Michigan State summer camp and wanted to die every second I was there. But my coworker, Mark, who went to State, will be mad at me if I kill him this early in the round. So it's kind of a biased opinion. We have another dog. I'm getting a little bored of real life dogs at the moment. Crazy. He's really trying to capitalize on this real life dog thing, and it's kind of working. But again, Mark would be mad at me, so... Now we have Florida versus Norfolk State. This is peak mascot design. There's never been anything better than this. And can I copy your homework? Yeah, if you change it up a little bit. Obvious. Next we have UConn versus Oklahoma. I like that he's a husky. I like huskies. I like that he has real dog privilege, but he doesn't look that soft, so. Oklahoma... Horses freak me out. Easy. Next, we have Memphis versus Colorado State. He's okay. Like, I don't love him. He's trying a little too hard to be like Tony the Tiger, but he's not. But I like Tony the Tiger. he's just okay to me. I am so freaked out by this real life ram. He scares me so much. I'm going to give it to Memphis. Now we have Maryland versus Grand Canyon. I don't know how to feel about him. I don't think I hate him, but the longer that I look at him, the more I really don't like him. And I didn't really think it would be possible to lose to a tortoise, but here we are. Next, I have Missouri versus Drake. He kind of looks like a basketball, and I like Tony the Tiger, so. Okay, the bulldog thing is really starting to get old. I'm really tired that every time we have a dog, it's a bulldog and it's a real dog. So it's kind of feeling speciesist. But with that being said, this is probably the cutest photo I've ever seen in my life, so. Next, we have UNC Wilmington versus Texas Tech. So don't get me wrong, I like Animal Crossing as much as the next guy, but he's kind of, I don't know, something about him kind of freaking me out. Plus, he's got Unk status, so. Welcome back, Yosemite Sam. I love him. Oh my God, I think he's perfect. The Masked Rider thing's kind of cool, but at the end of the day, Yosemite Sam, man, that's what sold it. Next we have Kansas versus Arkansas. America explain. This guy looks sad because he knows he's ugly. And you know what? I don't really love this guy either, but I like that he's a different kind of animal, and I think we need to diversify the mascots a little bit more. So I'm going to have to give it to Arkansas for that one. Next we have St. John's versus Omaha. At first I was like, okay, he's cool, lightning bird. The longer I look at him, the more I like him. I saw a picture of him from the side, and he had like these lightning going up the sides. That was really cool. He's grown on me. I literally just gave the point to a red mascot that was a different breed of animal, so I'm getting a little tired of this. Next, we have Duke versus anyone else. I don't know. The seed wasn't posted. I hate this guy. All right? He's lucky that he's going against nobodies because I would kick him out right now if I could. All right? He will not be making it to the next round. I hate this guy. Next, we have Mississippi State versus Baylor. And I gotta tell you, I'm getting real motherfucking tired of all these goddamn Bulldogs. Okay? It's starting to get really old. Hold on. That's a bear. You're telling me we bring bears to the games? We got bears in here? No brainer. All right, next we've got Oregon versus Liberty. Oregon, he reminds me of the Toledo Mud Hens, and I like that. He also did the Bigfoot pose, and I really like that. This guy, it kind of pissed me off because when I was looking him up, I found there's a New York Liberty, and they had an elephant, which seemed way cooler. But don't get me wrong, this guy's kind of cool, but I've got to give it to Bigfoot. Next, we have Arizona versus Akron, and I like this guy. I think he's cute, and I like that his cartoon little guy kind of looks like Thomas O'Malley the Alley Cat, but so stupid. Like, there's not a single thought in that little head. Not a single one. That's our winner, ladies and gents. Next, we have BYU versus VCU. I've seen this guy. I know him. I've seen him dance online. I'm finding it. I couldn't find it. It took me that long to find it. I couldn't find it. Wisconsin versus Montana. Holy shit. I love this guy. Oh my God, look at him. He's built like this. Oh my God. I love that guy. I hate him. Next, we have St. Mary's versus Vanderbilt. The St. Mary's guy is what my sleep paralysis demon looks like. I hate this guy. I hate this guy too, but I'm more scared of St. Mary's, so. Next, we have Alabama versus Robert Morris. Roll motherfucking Tide, brother. Colonizer. Next, we have Houston versus SIUE. Mark was mad at me that I wasn't talking about his lady partner or at all while I was looking this up, but this is my list, and I'm only judging it on the first mascot, not their respective partner mascot. So, for the record, he has a lady mascot, and both of them are also cougars that live in the zoo. They're not just mascot cougars, they're real life, but I don't give a shit because this is my ranking, so. What is this guy doing? The fuck is this guy doing? That was an obvious choice. Next we have Gonzaga versus Georgia. How many fucking Bulldogs are in here? Like, I'm really getting tired of looking at Bulldogs. Are you fucking kidding me? His name is Harry Dog, dude. Incredible. Now we have Clemson versus McNeese. This guy freaks me out. He is not sober. And I love that for him, but holy shit. I hate this guy more. I hate this guy way more. Purdue versus High Point. The amount of rage that fills my body when I look at this man's face is unfathomable. I hate Purdue Pete. But this guy, he's purple. And that's a color that I don't think we're utilizing enough in the mascot sphere. We need to make more purple people. Illinois versus Shrug, because they weren't listed. Real people mascots kind of freak me out a little bit, but I like the vibe he's got going on here. And also when I was looking into it, it said that they were looking for a new mascot, and it might be this Kingfisher, but I don't really know. I got confused. But they're not going up against anybody, so it really doesn't matter right now. Now we have Kentucky versus Troy, and I'm really starting to get tired of the big cats. It's big cats and bulldogs, and I'm tired of both, baby. UCLA versus Utah State. This guy was so hard to find a picture of just him. He's always photographed with his lady partner, and I really respect him for that. And this guy intimidates me. He freaks me out. He kind of looks like a gym bro, and I'm not really here for that, so I'm going to give it to UCLA. Now we have Tennessee versus Wofford, and Tennessee, this is a peak dog design. I no words. This is important. When you want to make a dog mascot, this is what you should be basing it off of. And honestly, I'd be kind of upset if Wofford didn't have a dog as their mascot. But he looks like he's trying too hard. Like, dude, chill. It's okay. But bonus point because his name is Boss, and that's kind of sick. But it was stiff competition, dude. Now we're reaching the speed run round. Auburn versus Creighton. Tony the Tiger. Michigan versus Yale. I want to give it to Michigan so bad, but it's really hard to win when we don't have an actual physical mascot. So maybe if we had a motherfucking mascot, I wouldn't have to cut us out of the race like this. So unfortunately, as much as I'm tired of these damn dogs, it's going to go to Handsome Dan. Ole Miss versus Iowa State. I'm going to give it to Ole Miss for doing something different, for putting themselves out there. New Mexico versus Michigan State. I'm so pissed that Sparty's going to make it onto the next round. You don't even know. Florida versus UConn. This isn't even a competition. Memphis versus Maryland. I love Tony the Tiger. Drake versus Texas Tech. As much as I love this picture, this has got me, man. Yosemite Sam for the win. Arkansas versus St. John. He's growing on me. What can I say? He got me. Duke versus Baylor. I already told you Duke wasn't going to make it past this round. Oregon versus Akron. This physically hurt me to do. All right, just know, look me in the eyes. This physically hurt me to do because I love this little idiot so much that there's not a light on. Nobody's home in there. This is perfect. Do you understand me? This is a perfect mascot. But I have to be strategic. BYU versus Wisconsin. He's perfect. Can't fight perfection. I'm sorry, BYU. Can't fight perfection. Vanderbilt versus Alabama. Roll Tide, brother. Houston versus Georgia. I'm really tired of big cats. And it's really frustrating that it's the top two things that I'm over. Big cats and bulldogs. But at the end of the day, hairy dog. Clemson versus High Point. Purple. Illinois versus Kentucky. I'm really tired of big cats, dude. UCLA versus Tennessee. As if this simp even had a shot of beating this bad boy. None, baby. Not a single shot. Not a second of consideration. This is my man. Beat 1 part 2. Auburn versus Yale. I'm going to have to give it to Yale. I'm sorry. You lasted a good time. He was so cute. But I've kind of developed a hate towards Bulldogs right now. Ole Miss versus Michigan State. Don't get me fucking started. I'm so pissed that Sparty keeps making it to the next round, okay? I'm just as mad as you are. Florida versus Memphis. Again, it's not even a competition. Like, I feel so bad. But fake Tony the Tiger wishes he could compete with this absolute perfected shape of a mascot. Incredible. Peak. Texas Tech versus St. John's. This was a really hard one. But at the end of the day, I'm a sucker for a 0.5. Baylor versus Oregon. Toledo Mud Hens for the win, baby. Wisconsin versus Alabama. I'm so mad that we keep putting the cutest mascots up against each other because it makes my decision really hard. But at the end of the day, it's always going to go to Wisconsin. Georgia versus High Point. You know what? Georgia should be thankful that it got this far when your mascot looks like this. Illinois versus Tennessee. Listen, it's hard to beat. Toby's a hard guy to beat. The final speed run. Auburn versus Michigan State. Fucking finally, I took that motherfucker down. Florida versus Texas Tech broke me a little bit because I love both of these mascots so incredibly much. And it was a very tough choice to sit here and weigh each team. But at the end of the day, that's him. Oregon versus Wisconsin. Dude, come on. Come on. I think at this point you can start to guess who my top 2 are going to be. High Point versus Tennessee. I'm going to be real with you. The only reason he's made it this far is that he's purple, and I was really here for that. This is it, folks. I'm kind of confused on what's going on with the bracket, and I don't feel like asking because I don't want to. Auburn, Florida, Wisconsin, and Tennessee. Out of these 4, I'm going to have to give it to Wisconsin and to Florida. But deep down, we all knew that. Now, who is the cuter mascot? This is what we came here to see, baby. Who's going to win all of March Madness? Which mascot is going to lead us to victory? You already know the answer. Say it with me. Florida. I don't know how many points they're going to score. I barely understand what the fuck's going on with this bracket. But what I do know is that there are a lot of really cute mascots in this league and that they should be incredibly proud of themselves. But not you, Purdue Pete.